you've ever wondered how some people seem naturally satisfied after eating. They eat, they stop when they're full, and they move on with their day, while you just seem to not be able to stop when you're 80 or 100% full and just need that one little more thing, or you stop eating but you're already thinking about what you're gonna have next. This video is for you. We'll talk about how you can make it easier for yourself to want to eat less food. Not unhealthily less, because over here we're not about heroin chic, but instead we'll talk about a certain hormone that is largely responsible for how full and satisfied you feel after eating, how long you stay full, and how loud food noise feels in your head. A hormone called GLP-1. This little hormone is so powerful that it's gotten quite famous and popular over the last couple of years and is now often being used by lots of people to lose weight. You might have heard of it as Ozempic, which is one form of a medication that kind of mimics that hormone GLP-1. But what most people don't realize, the mechanism why Ozempic works naturally already exists in your body, because GLP-1 is a natural hormone that we all have to some extent. And there are natural ways how you can increase your GLP-1 production by things like how you eat, what you eat, and overall how your body is doing. So in this video, I'm breaking down what GLP-1 even does and how you can support it naturally, so that feeling full and satisfied after eating does not feel like a constant fight anymore, and trusting your hunger signals finally becomes easier. If you're new here, hello, I'm Hannah. I'm a certified nutritionist, and everything in this video is based on current research. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want you to understand is that hunger and fullness is not a discipline problem. It is a physiological signal, mainly determined by hormones. And one of these hormones, perhaps the most powerful hormones of them, is GLP-1. And differences in the level of GLP-1 in your system is part of why some people seem to not struggle with stopping to eat when they're full, while others struggle with it a lot. So feeling naturally satisfied is not about willpower or discipline, but it's about how strong and how early these signals show up. So in order to understand why feeling full after eating is so much easier for some people than it is for others, we need to look at what GLP-1 even is and how it works in your body. Okay, so what is GLP-1 even? GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1, which is the official scientific name for it, but you know, everybody just calls it GLP-1 because who wants to say that? And it is a hormone that is released by specialized gut cells, so-called L cells, when food reaches your intestines. And this hormone, GLP-1, helps slow down digestion so that you feel full for longer, so that food moves through your body more slowly, meaning you stay full for longer, you feel full for longer. It helps increase satiety signals to the brain so that you actually feel satiated, and it reduces food noise after eating so that you're actually done with thinking about food until you actually physically get hungry again. Now, GLP-1 is only one of the fullness hormones that your body can produce, because there are also other fullness hormones like leptin or PYY. So why is everybody only talking about GLP-1 all the time? Because it affects digestion and the brain. It has a stronger and longer lasting effect, and it responds clearly to how and what you eat. And especially this last part is exactly why so many people struggle with having enough natural GLP-1 in their body already. Because the way most of us eat and live nowadays does not really support a healthy GLP-1 production. There are basically 4 main reasons why GLP-1 production is not naturally high in most people nowadays. Reason number 1 is the kind of breakfast people are eating, which for most people still nowadays is not very protein rich, but carb heavy, and usually lacking protein and fiber and all the good stuff. And when you start your day with just a coffee and a pastry or cereal or a smoothie or a banana or no breakfast at all, you're already starting your day without triggering any GLP-1 response. Similarly, many of us still eat way too much ultra-processed and or low fiber rich foods, which move through your gut or your whole digestive system way too quickly. First, because you usually don't have to chew them much because, you know, they're easy to chew because they're already pre-processed and they don't have a lot of fiber. So they go quickly through your mouth and then also quickly through your gut. And that also means less time for your gut to signal satiety to your brain. Something else that does not give your body enough time to signal satiety is eating too quickly and or distracted. GLP-1 rises gradually after you start eating. So if there's not a lot of time between you starting to eat and you finishing to eat, then your body doesn't have enough time to, you know, get that GLP-1 thing going. So you basically out-eat the satiety signal before you can arrive. So even though you're probably tired of hearing it for the billionth time, There's a reason why people keep telling you, including me, to eat more slowly, to chew your food thoroughly, and also not to eat distracted if possible. Or at least if you want to distract yourself with a podcast or something, do it with a podcast or something that calms your nerves down and doesn't stress you even more. If you scroll through TikTok or Reels while eating, that is a very, not so relaxing thing to do, even though it might feel relaxing in the moment. To your nervous system, it's not very relaxing, and that's gonna make you most likely eat even faster. And also not even, enjoy the food, which is also one point of eating. Speaking of nervous system, reason number 4 why your GLP-1 production might be lagging behind is chronic stress and poor sleep. Because GLP-1 signaling depends on a regulated nervous system. And if you're always under chronic stress, always in a fight or flight mode, because you always are, doing stuff, thinking about stuff, never allowing yourself to chill out for a second, your nervous system cannot go into rest and digest mode. But your body needs to be in a rest and digest mode in order to have healthy digestion. That's what the name suggests. Because if you're always in fight or flight mode, your digestion becomes a lot less efficient. Your gut-brain signaling, so the communication between your gut and your brain, is dampened, and satiety hormones are less responsive, because that communication between where your food is going and where your brain is realizing, your brain, that you are getting food, that communication axis is being distracted by that stress, by that tiger, which isn't even a tiger, running towards you. And poor sleep, on the other hand, also increases cortisol, your body's stress hormone, increases hunger hormones like ghrelin, and increases food noise the next day, and especially increases the food noise towards things like very calorie-rich foods, like, fatty, carb-rich, sugar-rich snacks, because these things give you energy, and when your body didn't get the energy from sleeping, it's trying to get that energy from something else, aka in this case, sugar. And also, if you sleep shitty, you probably know this, your willpower goes down, so there's not even a chance that you can resist these cravings. So you can eat perfectly healthy and slow and balanced and still not feel full if you're stressed all the time and or sleep like shit all the time. So while natural remedies are usually not as effective as medication, this is the same thing here. Ozempic obviously is a lot more powerful than anything you can do with food, but Ozempic or any GLP-1 medication has a lot of side effects. If your doctor recommended you generally, or if multiple doctors told you that you should take Ozempic, obviously take it, but please try to prioritize protein and strength training so that what you lose is actually fat and not muscle, or at least not much muscle mass, because this is one of the main bad effects of Ozempic, is that usually people lose more muscle than they lose fat, and you do not want to lose muscle mass, both for aesthetic and health reasons. But also, it seems like research is still, growing on Ozempic or GLP-1s in general, but it seems like people who take it once have to keep taking it for possibly their whole life in order to not gain all the weight back and then some. But if you're not taking the medication and just want to help your body to feel satisfied and full and to reduce that food noise in your head, here are some science-backed hacks how you can support your GLP-1 production naturally. First and foremost, focus on fiber, especially soluble fiber, because there are actually 2 different kinds of fiber, soluble and insoluble fiber. While both types are very healthy for you, for GLP-1 signaling, soluble fiber is even more important. Soluble fiber is the type of fiber that dissolves in water and forms a gel-like substance in the gut. And through that, it slows down digestion and nutrient absorption. And through that, the food stays in your gut longer, and that again gives your gut cells more time to release GLP-1. And also, soluble fiber feeds your gut bacteria, and your gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids, which directly stimulate GLP-1 release. And while you might think that you are getting enough of fiber overall because you're eating a lot of vegetable, soluble fiber is rarely found in vegetable, or not enough found in vegetable, which is also why many people don't get enough of soluble fiber, but if anything of insoluble fiber, or not enough fiber overall. And some of the best sources of soluble fiber are oats, legumes like beans or lentils, berries, apples, bananas, avocados, nuts and seeds, especially chia seeds and flax seeds. Now, next to fiber, the second most important thing that you should focus on is protein, our good old friend protein, because protein is so important for many things, including GLP-1 release, and especially it's helpful to have enough protein early in the day, which is also why everybody and their mom and me keep saying that you should have a protein-rich breakfast. Optimally, a protein and fiber-rich breakfast, because protein is the strongest and most reliable GLP-1 trigger, and it also stimulates other satiety hormones as well. And if you still struggle to get your protein in, especially early in the day, but for any meal of the day, I have a free protein guide that I'm sure will help you a lot with that, linked in the description. Next to protein, what's also incredibly important to feel satiated and full after eating and satisfied, and also actually, taste-wise satisfied, is fats, particularly healthy fats. Because eating healthy fats, especially monounsaturated fats and omega-3s, can increase GLP-1 release, and they also help you feel and stay full for longer by slowing down how quickly your stomach empties after eating. So slowing down digestion once again. But fat is not as powerful as protein and soluble fiber when it comes to GLP-1 signaling. You can kind of think of it as protein starting the whole signaling process, soluble fiber strengthening it, and fat kind of making it last for longer. So fiber, protein, and healthy fats help you with GLP-1 production. That means that foods that are rich in all of these nutrients are particularly helpful in feeling full and staying full. Some of these foods that are supported by research include eggs, avocados, nuts, and whole grain products. Although this list is not extensive, but especially these specific foods are supported by research. But there are even more specific foods that can be seen as little GLP-1 boosters. One of these foods is yerba mate, which is a certain type of green tea. And yerba mate has been shown in studies to increase GLP-1 secretion, probably through its polyphenols and caffeine-related mechanisms. Citrus fruits, in particular lemons, have also been shown by research to possibly help with GLP-1 signaling. Although this effect is quite small, but there's apparently some reason behind that, or some scientific backup behind that lemon water trend. And there's also some preliminary research, I have to admit this, it's not super high quality research, but there's some research suggesting that dark chocolate with more than 70% cacao might also help with GLP-1 production, thanks to the flavonols, which is a type of antioxidants that naturally exist in cacao. But like I said, we still need more research on that, but then again, dark chocolate, we love it when that's healthy, right? Now that's what you can eat to support GLP-1, but there's also something that you can do regarding to how to eat, and that is to eat slowly and to chew your food thoroughly. Meaning, aim for 30 chews per bite, which sounds like a lot, I know, but you can get used to it. It doesn't have to be 30, obviously, but have you counted your chews lately? I'm betting they're not even above 10 probably. So try to slow it down a little bit. Not only for your GLP-1, but for your gut health and your overall hormone health. And when it comes to GLP-1, this is especially important in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Because like I said earlier, GLP-1 production begins when you start to eat. So especially when the start is, slowed down, then your GLP-1 production can already, be happening. Release can already be happening. And how can you do that? Well, what helps here is first, not to eat distracted, so no screens, or at least no short form content, which will, distract your mind probably to more than 100%. To take a few bites early, so maybe before you start eating. Something that I do, for example, not for my GLP-1, but in general, because it's just easy. For my lunch, I always have some kimchi, which I just have straight out the glass, 1 fork for my gut bacteria. And then I only start eating lunch probably like 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later. And that already helps set on, probably, according to research, to release GLP-1. And try to start with the type of food that requires chewing. So if you are having a smooth soup, for example, don't start with the soup, but instead start with, some vegetables that you have on the side, or maybe your chicken. Now, if you're listening to all of this and feel like, okay, this makes sense, but I need something structured that helps me to actually apply all of this knowledge, this is exactly why I created the Health Reset, which is a knowledge base and workbook that guides you step by step through every area of your health and wellness, including your nutrition, to help you optimize it in a realistic and doable way. It's a practical guide that will help you build meals that work for you and your life and your preferences, that will reliably make you feel satiated and happy. And also to finally reduce the food noise around eating. You can find the link to the health reset in the description. Now, if you're someone who struggles with intuitive eating and intuitively knowing when to stop eating, these tips in this video can help you a lot by releasing or supporting the release of GLP-1. But there's a lot more that you can know about intuitive eating, which is not that complicated. It's actually pretty simple to learn intuitive eating, and I have a whole video about how to start intuitive eating, meaning no tracking required and no more food noise. And finally being able to trust your body again, to know what it needs. If you're still watching at this point, thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you. Drop a little strawberry below, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care.